Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, my name is Elijah Olasunkanmi. I am currently a senior at Washington University in St. Louis studying computer science. So first things first, I want to say thank you to the 776 Foundation for giving me the floor to talk about what we're working on. So today I'm going to talk to you about Lagos DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. We are trying to build a union of engineers and creators for Lagos, Nigeria. So before I go into our governance structure and how we expect to manage our resources, I want to talk to you about what we're working on. Our 5-year goal is to build a physical infrastructure for our community to come together, collaborate, and produce new ideas. A problem we realize is a lot of people in Nigeria lack access to resources that will allow them to maximize their potential. An example is having stable internet and having stable electricity. So, to tackle this problem, we are trying to build physical infrastructure where people can come together to work. The first piece of this is having a tech center. So, a tech center is important because it allows people to come and work together. The first piece of this is having adequate internet so people can connect to the rest of the global world. The second piece of this is having stable electricity, especially renewable energy. So we're looking at solar powered facility. The third piece is having computers and other equipment that people will need to be able to work. In addition to this, we're trying to build a community where people can help each other move on and build their ideas. So this is going to be educational focus and having mentors and peers in-house that can come together and collaborate. The second piece of this is having an event arena. So this specifically targets our creators, and this is having art studios, recording studios, podcast studios, and photography studios where they can come and work and also showcase what they are building. The third piece of this is having a sports arena. This is specifically targeted at athletes, and this will be a place where they can come compete and earn tokens for playing. The fourth piece of this specifically is targeting medical center. So we realize the healthcare system in Nigeria also has a lot of problems, and we need to contribute to solving this issue. One thing we're looking at closely is having blood donations where people can also earn tokens for donating blood. A fifth piece of this is a DeFi center. So we want to push Nigeria in the frontier of the global economy. And this means having people work in the financial markets. So we are trying to build a space where people can come together and work on a few ideas like trade and commerce, marketplaces, transactions and payments, legals and tax, auctions, bounties, and NFTs. The sixth piece of this is having adequate transportation inside of our campus. So we realize in order for people to actually have access to this facility, they need to actually physically be able to get there. So what this is going to look like is having e-bikes, having scooters, and having shuttles that will take people from around the campus or neighboring towns and neighboring cities to our facility. Another thing we are looking at is housing. So we want to build a campus where people feel welcome and people feel like they can live in. So this is going to look like a community where people can actually live and possibly pay rent and also have a token structure that manages this. The eighth piece of this, which is really, really important, especially to me, is having a recreation center. So one thing that's important is to me, athlete, is my health and working out and staying fit. So this is going to look like having a physical center and having a gym where people can come and work out, people can hang out, and people can train, for example, boxing, people can play tennis, people can play basketball, soccer, track, you name it. The ninth piece of this is having parking lots so we can actually move around and have cars, people can be safe in this space. So speaking of safety, the 10th piece of this is going to be security and having a trained staff that will work and protect the people that are going to be in our facilities. This is going to look like fire and rescue. This is going to be having IDs and badges and tags for every contributor, every worker, and every person that's going to be on our campus. We also want to make sure that people have their mails when they live on campus. So this is going to be making sure we have a center that will handle mails and shipping. The final piece of this is having sewage and waste. So people are living in this space, so we want to make sure people are comfortable and people can actually live on the campus. So I just spoke of a few things that we unraveled. So I want to talk about how we plan to manage and structure this. So we are a decentralized autonomous organization, meaning we will be living on the blockchain, especially when it comes to the governance of our resources. Because we want to build a global ecosystem where Lagosians, both in Lagos, Nigeria, and Lagosians across the world, like myself in the United States right now, where we can come together and work to build a better future for each other. So this is going to look like a smart contract. So currently we have a test network on Ethereum where we built a dashboard that will be managing the token structure of our organization. So how this is going to work is members of the organization will join and will have an ownership in the organization through an NFT. Our NFT is a token gate. So our organization is gated by an NFT that each member needs in order to access our resources. Then we have tokens. So we have LAGS tokens, which is the way which we will be making transactions between each other, earning as we contribute to the organization and the vision. So members of the organization will be able to vote, and members of the organization will also be able to create proposals that will relate to how we manage our resources. Now, before we get to the 5-year goal, we have a huge challenge ahead of us, which is us building our community of engineers and creators in a scattered environment. By scattered, I mean we're going to be building online for the most part. So because we have the power of the internet on our side, we'll be able to build a community of engineers using online resources. And this is currently our track and where we're headed in the next few years. We're going to be building a community for engineers, but in order to get to that point, we're specifically targeting developers to begin with. So I'm going to talk about our first phase here. So our first phase is between now and June, and we are currently looking to build a strong core team. And what this is going to look like is building the strong team that's going to be looking towards the end goal vision, but also one that's diligent enough to work on the tasks ahead. Our current plan is to build and focus on developers in the niche market of the big engineer bracket. So the reason we're focusing on developers is because the barrier to entry is easier to get developers, especially in the online world, where we can build, educate, or utilize educational resources that exist in Web3 to onboard engineers to this space. So what this is going to look like is, starting in May, we plan to host weekly workshop sessions where 5 to 10 new Web3 engineers will come out of our program. We'll be using curriculums like BuildSpace, Questbook, and Figment to train these engineers to start working on new projects that are existing in Web3 and also contributing to Lagos DAO and what we're trying to build. This is going to help us leverage a group of engineers that will be able to build products that we need to onboard the rest of the engineers and creators that we're trying to bring into Lagos DAO. Now, this is currently where we're currently at. We have currently written out our manifesto, as I've shown, and we have currently built a proposed dashboard which fellow members will be able to use to manage our resources. So this will be how members of the DAO join our platform. So they connect a wallet and they will be able to be logged into this dashboard where they can see bounties and also propose bounties. So bounties will be like building a dashboard, hosting a Twitter space to talk about our idea, hosting an engineering workshop, hosting a DAO hangout in real life. And also we'll be managing receipts of how the DAO's resources are spent through the dashboard and it will be open source for everyone to see how our resources are spent. So how resources are being paid to contributors of the DAO and how money is being fundraised. So now, we also have our contract, our test network contract here. As you can see, Legis DAO is currently living online in Rinkeby test network. You can see the token and how it's currently structured. The final piece here is our replit. But before that wakes up, I will be showing you our plans and roadmap moving forward. So between March and April, again, we are building a strong core team of community leaders, engineers, and advisors. We want to have a strong core team that will keep up and follow through with our 5-year vision, but also contribute to building what we need now in order to get there. Between May and June, we're going to be curating our curriculum and launching weekly peer-to-peer coding sessions, specifically targeted at developers to help onboard developers onto our ecosystem, but also Web3. Between July and August, we will be deploying the DAO on mainnets. So currently, like I said, we're on test network, but we want to take that to the main network, and we'll be using our resources, which comes from our core team and the contributors that we onboard as developers on our team. Between September and October, we plan to host our first major hackathon that will be funding new projects that are coming out from Legis DAO. And then finally, between November and December, we'll be deploying our property development plan as an NFT. So we'll also be trying and working towards acquiring 10,000 new users for Legis DAO. Now, as you can see here, this is the dashboard where we are currently at on test network. This is our prototype for connecting a wallet. So I will be connecting my wallets, and as you see here, I'm able to mint an NFT that will give me access to Legis DAO. And once I have my membership token, I will be able to log into Legis DAO. As that is going on in the background, I want to say we're excited, but we know there's a lot of challenges that's going to be ahead of us in building this out. We're super excited to bring our team together and work on this and bring a union of engineers and creators. As far as our community goes with trying to combat climate change, we are trying to lead by example. So this facility we're building, we expect to be fully powered through renewable energy, and we hope to be lead by an example. And as we continue to build an ecosystem where we encourage engineers and creators to build in our space, we are going to be heavily funding projects that work towards solving renewable energy problems. So this is Legis DAO. I hope this is spark some interest and some questions in you. Please reach out with questions. Aside from funding, if you know any resources that you think could help move us along, please point it in our direction. I am super excited, and I hope to speak with the 776 team very soon about our idea. And final thing I want to show here again is the Legis DAO member page. So this is the dashboard we're currently at with our MVP. So we hope to continue to build this out and for it to eventually look like our design prototype here. But anyways, thank you again, 776 team, for giving me the floor to talk about our idea. I look forward to talking to you all about what we're working on, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you again, and I'll see you. Enjoy. Have a good time. Bye.